What you give to be a fly on the wall and hear the conversation going on in this studio between the three men with me, mostly. You know, I thought I had escaped all this talk over the weekend. And then I come on Monday morning and plunge straight into it. All I want to talk about is Fintex and non-oil export. Biko, Dakun.
So much fire.
All right. But it's interesting. I mean, the insensitivities of human beings, all of that coming from some book launch that put, over $11 million in one man's pocket. I would like to, if I talk about it in Naira, probably it doesn't hit home. 17 billion Naira. Think about it in terms of dollars. 11 million. 11.3 something
in one day.
Million dollars. But the point of the matter is that everybody that supposedly is everybody was there. So everybody was there and they were the ones who contributed money. It opens up fresh wounds. So I don't know what people in leadership, what the advisors do, why nobody could have said, guys, man, do we need this? Or do we, how will people feel? And at the end of the day, so we are here. But more importantly, there are a lot more about the country Nigeria than somebody's book launch. So we might as well get on with it, because as is typical of Nigeria and Nigerians, it will rage on for a few days and then there will be something else to rage about and life will continue. So we might as well continue thinking about how we can better our lot in our own little spaces. So all aboard! Do you have your ticket? Well, just so you know, the Fintex train is leaving the station. And when the Fintex train leaves, you might miss it forever. And why not? The Fintex is a new bride. If you're not married to it, you are out of the equation, whether you know it or not. If you are indeed married to it, then you are part of that equation. That's why the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I hear, has pledged his administration support for Fintex. It's the first time a Nigerian president will come out so openly to back Fintex. The president said he would support Fintex businesses that provide payment infrastructure services for Nigerians and Africans. Matter of fact, he was making that promise very, very recently when he hosted Flutterwave and Alami Capital in Abuja. So the president says Fintex is the way. We are saying Fintex is broad and diverse. You hear Fintex, you think about this big brand, but the small boy down your street has Fintex solution ideas. It may just be in his head, just conceptual. Think about it. For those of you young men who play PlayStation, right? PlayStation, PS, FIFA. You play all these things. You play Xbox and all of that. Imagine when your dads and your uncles and those of us who have, lived for a number of decades were young, there was no such thing, right? So what did we have? Table soccer. In Ibadan, we used to call it Iderioti. More, I don't know what you called it where you are.
Tente?
So there's this Iderioti, which is, Iderioti means the cover of a drink, which is your crown cork, whether it's your fizzy drink or your beer, the crown cork, okay? So you try to open it as gently as possible so you don't bend it. And then you take old calendars, cut out the numbers in the calendars, and stick it maybe with chewing gum or some other glue to the back of that crown cork. That would be the jersey number. Then inside, you will either stick chewing gum or candle wax or paper, whatever thing, inside to give it some body and balance. You just have to gather 11 of that. National team don't come with that. And then you will go up and play. There's this stuff, spool thing and audio cassettes that we used to make balls then. So you draw a line on the ground Table soccer, that was our PS. That was the PS we knew. And when I was a kid, I used to look at that table soccer and I used to imagine that, it would be nice if somebody could come up with an idea we could play this game on a television. I used to imagine it in my head. Well, television. I used to think that there would be two television screens. One will back this person, the other one will back the other person. They will face each other, and then there will be some control where you can play this table soccer. I was thinking maybe they can put the table, make a table, put it on the wall, put magnets so that you can control, so that it will be like football. Okay. Years later, Nintendo 64, whatever I think, came out, and the rest is history. So that is how fintech develops. Ideas. So what is your fintech idea? You can call us now. You can talk to us. You can drop us a message. Studio WhatsApp number is 0809-597-5805. But you probably already knew that. 0809-597-5805. The one you need to pay particular attention to is this one, through which you can reach our non-oil export coach, fintech coach, throughout the course of the week. It's 0912-171-2885. Again, 0912-171-2885. No SMS, no calls, just WhatsApp messages. So, I'm Femi Obong-Daniels. Razak Olaigbe is here. He's producing. He's better than Arsenal today. And Daniya Adeosun, our non-oil export coach, is here. He's probably better than book launches and book writings. Razak Olaigbe is a writer. I won't be surprised if that guy has a hand in the whole of that book launch, because I know that is what he does.
I do not.
You know.
I do not.
You know. Every book you see with somebody's name, often the person does not know how to write shishi.
That's correct.
It is men like Razak Olaigbe that are actually writing that book in the shadows.
I do not write this one.
I just need to know.
To the double show. This one, I don't get hand. For this one, I don't get hand.
So, and we heard you last week. Yeah, we call you the Oracle. I wonder what the people say about it. So we're talking fintech, and I need to throw in non-oil, because in view of our time, there are non-oil export conversation there. Because I've been made aware of the plan of the Nigeria Export Promotion Council for 2025. It's plenty talk, right? But just sum it up to mean double the export, double the money. Double the export, double the money, which looks very obvious in the first place, right? If you double the export, you will double what you make of it, isn't it? Yeah. So, but the point is, and we've said this many times, Nigeria earned, this is just 2024 figures. So the figures are out already. Oh, that's an increase. It was 4 point something in 2023. Razak, you remember? What was that?
4.5.
4.5. So the 2024 figures are out. Nigeria earned $5.43 billion in 2024. That's roughly one extra billion from the previous year. So the Nigerian Export Promotion Council plans to double that figure by $10 billion in 2025. So, I mean, more like double it to 10 billion. So they want to make that leap, double in at the end of 2025. We will be here, all three of us, God willing, to see how they do. And what are they relying on? They say they are relying on rubber, they are relying on palm oil, they are relying on seafood in the South to achieve the $10 billion goal. My question to you, Nee, are we even allowed to export seafood?
So that's a good question, because at the top of my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first question that I asked myself. Palm oil, yes. Cotton, yes. Rubber, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Seafoods is dicey. In fact, when you started the prologue, I was smiling in my head here, and all I remembered was the they plan not to, depend on crude
zero oil
in 2025. You understand? But now another story has come. Is double export now. Okay, the talking is always plenty. Do you understand? But again, so the chicken is coming home to roost, right? Which means that we're coming into some level of reality. For me, beyond all of those promises and all that, the work of the NEPC is to make that enabling environment, and it's really about the people. Okay, so which means if NEPC is saying something, that is from the point of government. It's a policy direction. For us who are doing this program, the question now we're going to be asking ourselves is that, look, do you have access to rubber? Do you have access to cotton? Because the government is mentioning, when it talked about fintech, at the upper part, we're saying that, look, the government is saying, fintech infrastructure. And by the way, people need to understand what fintech infrastructure means, right? So if, for example, you want to make payment now, there are things that make it happen, right? You take your phone, you put what do you call it now? You put in a card. You take your card, you put it in a POS, and a payment happens. There's a debit, and there is a credit somewhere. You understand? And you see an alert and all of that. Those things that make those things that you're seeing happen, they are called the fintech infrastructure. You get it? So when you hear those things that are at the back, all right. So it has to do with talking about switches. You're talking about gateways. You're talking about routers. You're talking about servers, you're talking about the cloud. There's a whole lot that is playing on at the back end there. So what the government is saying is that, look, for you understand that it's looking at doing something like a flutterway, doing something like what do you call it, like a pay stack. You understand? We are willing to support you. All right. So once you have those ideas, you understand, and you're looking at also coming into that space. All right, and you have those ideas, bring them to us, because we're looking at how, at some point, we want to fund those ideas. You understand? We're putting up infrastructure to say, okay, look, you have ideas. We want to be able to, because when you look at the Flutterway, for example, right, they already have branches in other countries of Africa.
Yep.
All right. They started from Nigeria. They've branched to other countries in Africa. Why can't you be the next Flutterwave? All right. That's what the government is saying. And once the government makes a pronouncement, you understand, which means that it's telling the people, take a focus on this area. And it's the same thing with NEPC. Coming back to NEPC now. NEPC says, we want to double the export using this product. The seafood you talked about. Remember, we also did crayfish. All right. So grounded crayfish, all right, is also seafood. So it's not a bad idea. You understand? When you say, okay, you have access to crayfish in the south, all right, in the riverine area. Remember, I went as far as Akwa Ibom. I went to the sea, and they told me that I should wait, that the farmers on the sea will come later in the evening. So I sat down by the sea, waited until when they started sorting all of those crayfishes, where they turn them into crayfish, from the raw crayfish from the sea.
Yeah.
All of those experiences are interesting. So once somebody is from the south, and you have access to those things, they cannot be exported in their raw form. All right, you must process them. Once you process them, you can do a process of crayfish, add ginger, add chili pepper, or add dry pepper, and grind it. It is ready for the pot. You get it? So I'm sure that's what the NEPC is saying. But at the core of it, it's about you. All right? The NEPC does not do those things. Once they make a policy statement, it's for the people to understand it and come into it. And we're here to support all of that effort. That's what it is.
But in addition to that, there are also other products that can add to this. For instance, I know there's rubber in Edo, there's rubber in Bayelsa and other states. You can add all that into the equation. Those have to be seafood and palm kernel oil.
Let me look. I used to, not, I won't say I used to. At some point, I traveled through to Port Harcourt. All right. Once you leave Warri and you're heading towards Bayelsa, the left and right of the roads are rubber. Rubber, rubber plantations, you understand, that are just there, just wasting. So in those very old days when they used to do tires, and you see brothers, yes, those rubbers were useful, you understand. But can our people take a step further and also go and harness these things, right? Because what I preach, even when I teach, is If you don't do, there's no doing. You know, when you're talking about export, there has to be a doing. You heard me when I was talking about the next group exports we want to do. I told you about the products that we want to do. And I'm telling myself that, do I really want to travel again? You understand? I'm talking about, look, there's a place that I need to travel to go and get one of the products. From Abuja, it is 11 hours by road. Do you picture it? If I go by road, it's in the north. I will say abundance of it. From Abuja, it is 11 hours if I have to go by road. So I was asking myself, am I going to go on this journey again? The me that I know, I'm that daring. All right? Once there's opportunity there, I want to go and see it. You get it? So when you say you want to do, you have to do the do. It's not talk. You know, it's not talk. You want to do export, you have to move. You must be able to move. You know, you just have to move. You understand? Once you're able to move, you'll get reward. It's called money at the end of the day. You don't chase the money. You chase the work. The reward for the work is what brings money, and that's what it is.
In that case, I would say NPC can triple this money because if you bring processing into it, it allows you to make more money than just taking out the raw products. So if we focus on processing all these raw materials, it gets more money. We're adding more value, and in value addition, we get more money. So they can triple this. This one is more realistic than zero oil we had the last time.
I like that talk about value. So essentially, while these two gentlemen were passing the ball to each other, and these are very useful information. Remember, if you have questions, it's 0912-171-2885. 0912-171-2885. I'll come to check if there's any message for us to read on the portal. But just so you know what I committed, and all of us committed to doing this year, is to, amongst other things, give you information that will be useful, help people to learn to come together and form communities, because that way you are better, you are stronger. Three are better than one. 3,000 are better than three. Sorry
to even cut you, Femi. I'm
yes.
sorry. You know, interestingly, so in one of the groups that we have is a palm oil group, right?
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of bantering, in the last 1 week about the rising and falling of prices of palm oil. All right, up to the extent that we're even considering, saying, okay, can we even start to do some kind of speculation, right, where we can buy in bulk, you understand, and stop for a period of time and even sell locally. All right. So those are some of the opportunities. So when one is in those communities, somebody telling me that she's in one place in Akwa Ibom, and she says that this is the cost. And there's another guy that called us that was telling us that he wants to export palm oil, all right, to the USA in New Jersey. So that what is the cost of doing that? And I said, oh, you have a mill. He said, yes. How much is your own palm oil? He told me. I looked at the disparity. Okay. And I'm like, okay, these people are saying that it's cheaper here. All right. Those are the opportunities. Government is saying, oh, they mentioned palm oil. If the NEPC is mentioning palm oil, you must open your ears. NEPC has mentioned palm oil. You understand? Which means if you are doing palm oil, you are from Akwa Ibom, you are from Delta, you are from Edo, you are from Ondo, you have all of those things, you understand? You do not have any business, if you're in Lagos, you do not have any business in Lagos, to be honest with you. Especially if you're not really doing anything serious. Go back to those places where you're from, all right? And go and look for those products, you understand? Because if you cannot export them, we will help you export them. Whether in 1 liter cans, whether in 2 liter cans, whether in 25 liter cans, the markets are there. They need them for production of soap. They need them for so many things, you understand? But go and do the work, and we're there to be able to support you. That's what it is.
Yeah, if we're able to take 1 or 2 calls before we go, we literally have 3 minutes. You can call us now. It's 0201-465-7190. Oh, there's an interesting message I got about when I was talking about top table soccer. This is from Shoden Deolaoluwa Moses. Who said, Mr. Femi, you're on point. But we used to make Rob or Bam as the goalkeepers. If you are fortunate, you can even steal your mother's new can. Those small cans of Rob and Bam. All those Bams or Mentholatum, whatever it was back, and you make them the goalkeeper because they are thick, they are stocky. And if it's an empty one, you fill it with candle wax or sand or whatever your hand code master. But this conversation is one that will continue. Kofi, we do have a phone call. Let's see who's on the line. Hi, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Femi.
Yes, please. How are you doing? Talk to us.
Very well.
Yep.
Yeah, concerning, I'm Abiola by name.
Okay, well, welcome.
Yeah, concerning the palm oil business that your colleague is talking about, I have, let me say, an elderly person, my father-in-law, who owns the plantation there. I don't think if I've gotten married, I've ever bought in palm oil with my money. I just travel down there, bring 225 liters of palm oil down to Lagos for my own personal consumption. I sell some. I don't know how me and that the other your colleague can lay up together. I think they probably sell this thing out of Nigeria because the thing is just wasting there, really.
What part of the country?
Ondo State.
Ondo State. Okay.
Yes.
In fact, I need to get Kofi. Please make sure you write this guy's number. I beg.
Please,
I want
to reach out. We need you more than we need you too much.
all right, sir.
Okay, Mr. Abiola, fantastic.
That's a good call.
I can give you my email. You can mail me. If you can send my email.
Okay.
Please just help us send it. Send it.
baeglobal1@gmail.com.
Okay. BAE Global 1.
BAE Global 1.
BAE Global 1.
V as in violence.
Oh, V.
Yeah.
VAE
Global 1.
Global 1.
Yes.
Okay.
At gmail.com. Please, I'll be accepting your.
All this old man, nobody's writing anything, or they are trusting on
You're
their.
writing, right? You're writing. Yeah. I think
VAE Global 1.
Yeah,
Thank you. Whoa, we got it.
right. Thank you so much.
We got it. Thank
We'll
you
get in touch with you.
very much. I was just checking the second and final keg of my wife's palm oil. So she brought her own 225-liter kegs from Bayelsa or whatever else.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I was like, this oil done the finish.
You remember we talked about palm oil at some point when we started packaging in the year. And I was telling you that, look, once there's no palm oil is the problem. Razak was asking me late last year that do you have palm oil?
Good morning, Femi, Razak, and Niyi. You don't have anything in Lagos if you are doing nothing. The problems are the transportation and checkpoints. Play table soccer with Biro cover. Benoni.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you very much. Just as a quick reminder, we got to go now. For questions and comments, 0912-171-2885. Have a wonderful week, Lagos.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Hello, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.